welcome to the Watching Now podcast from Couch Soup. We're talking about Alien Earth, episode 6?
Why are you questioning it? Yes, it's episode 6.
Good. I'm glad. Yes, it's episode 6 this week, and we're going to talk about it. Again, this week we have our crew, which is one down this week, but we've got Katie
Hello.
and we've got me. I'm Ian, the host for today. Lily is traveling, so she will be not joining us today, but I think she was a little bit higher on this episode than she has
She
been.
did say that she liked most of it, I think. She
Well,
did. Well, I don't know if liked was the word. I think she enjoyed it in part.
now,
Or maybe it was just liked it more than last week. I'm not sure what the
well, I
specifics were.
mean, it couldn't have been hard with last week's score of 4/6, depending on what scale you're
What
using.
base system
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
working off of? Yeah.
Katie, I want to do something a little bit different today.
God.
I went to my local cinema and
Ooh.
watched the original Alien.
Oh,
Yes. So I want to say I'm sorry to anyone watching for the things that we got wrong,
okay.
and I want to be vindicated on the stuff that we got right,
Okay.
and I just want to explain a few things, okay?
Okay, that's great. That's good for me. I love context.
So the first, I'm going to start with my bad guys.
Okay.
Sorry. So I have been on this timey-wimey doesn't make sense stuff for a
Mhm.
long time. Okay, maybe gone for 30 years. Not gone for 30 years. That's not a thing. When they come out of hypersleep and they find the planetoid that they go to find the ship with all the alien eggs, they end up being 10 months away from home. That planet is only 10 months away from Earth, and that means that they didn't need to be on a 65-year journey unless they're going on a big round trip, or
Mm.
they found the Xenomorphs in different places, which is possible because they found those eggs on a ship. They weren't natural life forms from that planetoid.
It does. That does kind of. That does take away from like the argument you were making about like why this needed to be a prequel.
Absolutely. It's my bad, guys. It's my bad. Something interesting.
Mhm.
The only person who says that they have not encountered this species before, and it's something that we have to study, is Ash. And Ash is the person who's pretending to be human on this ship.
Mm.
He was in cryosleep with everybody else. Nobody knew he was a synth, and he was the one with Mother's orders to say, "Go and get me the life form." So have we been fed a massive lie from the very beginning, and that they actually did know about this species? And Ash was lying in that first one, which makes everything different.
Yes, and Lily did make a little point about this the other day, in that she kind of suggested that if he knew the whole time, it kind of takes some of the tension out of the film, which I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen it before, but it was an interesting thing to posit,
Hmm.
and I can see why that would affect her in that way for sure, if that is the case. Which it is because you just said it was. But yeah, no, that is also interesting. I don't have much to comment on this.
No,
This is just like,
I'm just adding some context. Then I want to get to my vindication.
okay.
Okay.
I have my own vindication, but that's
Yes, we
more to
do,
do
and
with
we'll
the
get to that
episodes.
in the episode because you were right, and you will. I will probably edit in Captain Holt doing
Yeah,
the vindication thing.
as one should.
Vindication!
My next vindication for me is the alien plays with its food. In the first film, only half of the crew that is attacked by the alien was killed on site. One of the engineers, Brett, is taken, and Dallas, the captain, is taken and is gooed up. There is no queen on the ship. They just goo them up into the walls. I'm just saying, not always killed on site.
You're feeling much braver about doing this while Lily's not here, isn't it?
Oh my God, yes. And my last one, again, I'm very much braver for when Lily's not here. People don't act that scared until they see the alien, how big the alien is. They go hunting for the little xenomorph that comes out of the chest, and they were definitely very scared when Kane chest explodes. with a little thing that comes out and runs away. But they're all just like going on a little hunt for a little thing. Brett, who gets taken by the alien first, just wanders off on his own looking for a cat with like no care in the world. He's not acting that scared. I'm gonna await Lily to watch this episode and then kill me.
She'll have things to say next week.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
And I mean, and that's basically my findings. The only other thought one was a small thing is they weren't on a mining vessel. They're a haulage company. They're taking mining things
Mm.
from one planet to another. But that's it.
I still think that that makes sense why they wouldn't have certain bits of technology because they wouldn't care to protect
Yeah,
them in any way, shape, or form because that's not what they're there for. But I know Lily disagrees.
yeah.
I love you, Lily.
Oh, one last thing. This non-science vessel has good protocols for PPE. They
Mm.
all wear the masks when they're trying to figure out what's going on with the facehugger on Kane. They have masks, they have PPE on, and then even Ash tells Dallas that he can take the PPE off when he's in like a sealed container. So
Really, there's no excuse for them being that stupid on
absolutely,
Neverland.
they were absolute dumbasses last week. Yes.
Stupid, stupid, stupid.
Hell on earth. All right,
All right.
cool.
So that's it. That's my context,
Love it.
and we should
That's
probably
some
get
good
on
stuff.
to our initial
Episode.
thoughts.
Oh, yes. That bit. I forgot about that bit. Every week I forget about that bit. I liked this episode much more than last week. I was very, 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 very glad to be back on Neverland with all those kids. And I think we're getting to a really interesting ramping up point, which I very much enjoyed. Plus, there's a lot of little bits and pieces in here that I was like, oh, yeah, that's really cool. Oh, that's really cool too. Oh, that's good. So I liked this one so much more. And I definitely missed them last week. I think that's it. I don't,
Yeah.
without spoilers.
I mean, yeah, you're nailing that for me as well. I thought I would be a really high on something that was evoking the original Alien, but I actually really like this group of characters that is in Neverland, and today not that much in Neverland as well.
Mhm.
I wanted to be with those people slash things, and I really liked this one, and it is the way it's left off ramps up for the final two episodes, and that's what you need to
Yep.
get to. Maybe that ramp up has like escalated very fast. We could see it coming from a mile away that it was going to escalate
I
because
think
that's the
it's an
whole
earned escalation, honestly, because I think after last week, you need to go fast, right?
yeah.
Much like Sonic.
Gotta go fast.
Uh, God damn it. I got myself with my fucking joke. But like, you had the sort of slow build up, and then they took a very intentional break. So coming back from that, you can't keep going slowly. It's just like, no, we have 3 episodes left. We have to now move
Yeah.
into a direction where shit be fucked.
And shit gonna be fucked pretty quickly, I would imagine. From multiple different
Angles.
avenues.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And in ways that I feel like are earned, which is the important thing. Because sometimes shit can be fucked from multiple avenues, and it really does not feel earned. Looking at you, Alien Romulus. Um,
Okay, let's get on to the spoilers. Let's get on to whether we've got some more mold this week.
Mold Watch. It's back again. I actually have a comment. I have a note in here that just says Mold Watch.
I also have a comment in my notes that says Mold Watch and Mold Watch times two and
Mm,
Mold Watch times three.
So there's a couple of instances of it popping up this week.
So spoilers then. Okay, spoilers then. But let's start with the juicy political intrigue, if that's okay with you.
Yes, I did my notes this week just as I was watching, so they are not ordered in terms of any kind of like theme. So I will be jumping all over the place. Please forgive me for reading.
The Wayland Utani and Prodigy arbitration
That's
meeting.
probably a better way of putting it. I wrote it as a parlay,
Yeah, I mean that's
kind
that's
of a
the way
parlay.
of that's the way of pirates speak.
Hmm.
And
God, I didn't even think of
Peter
that.
Pan
That wasn't
and
even intentional. I was just like,
so the Boy Cavalier and Utani meet on a massive, massive table to try and work out a way to resolve their issues.
they are really obsessed with his feet.
Fuck me, those feet, right?
It's
And
how they introduce him into the scene. Like they just show his feet, and then suddenly it's like, nope, they're just going straight on the table. Uh,
but also they're fucking dirty as well, man.
that's because he doesn't wear shoes ever,
I know. Right,
which is a great detail.
yeah, I really want. I know he's already like put it in the universe that he's probably going to get face huggered to death, but
Mm.
I want his feet to be his downfall.
Yeah, that would be good.
It's got to be something like you have put this in the universe that he never wears shoes.
Hmm.
Is he going to step on something which ultimately kills him?
Just like
Maybe.
eats. Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be fun. That would be great. I like that a lot.
but politically.
Politically, very interesting. I want to read this out though, very
Okay.
specifically, because I wrote this fucking parlay is already incredible. And then the quote from the arbitration guy going, comport yourselves professionally as these are professional matters. And then I wrote, meanwhile, Cavalier has his feet. That was the end of the sentence.
I think it did a really good job at showing finally how smart the
Mm,
Boy Cavalier is, rather
yeah.
than him just telling people that
Yeah.
he's really smart. Because he outdid Utani.
In a way that I was like, because he started off saying things and I was like, what? But that doesn't make any sense. What about X, Y, Z? And then he kept bringing up other little bits and pieces, and I was like, oh, okay, so he really thought this through.
Yeah.
And you like really had been planning this for a little bit. Like he had the whole thing about, which I think one of the things that the prequel episode that we had does is that it does set up, like I said last week, the fact that the Boy Cavalier had been kind of planning this for a while. So I think it gives this moment a lot more oomph in that we know it crashing into that building. So him constantly being like, well, you killed many millions of my citizens. Like
And-
you've done so much in property damage. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Would be appreciated, which
Thoughts and
fucking
prayers.
got me so bad.
Of course, my thoughts and prayers go out to the victims and their families.
Of course, yeah. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
Fair play tomorrow. He said nothing like to interrupt when he knew that the Boy Cavalier had engineered it that way.
Yeah, I was wondering why he didn't do that.
It's a professional proceeding
I
about
suppose
professional
so.
matters.
But surely he would have told Yutani that that was a piece of information that he had, and she could have used that. Sure, I think that was one of the only things in that scene I was like, why not this? But I think it was because he'd already outmaneuvered her a little bit too much. I think it was
Yeah.
like this kind of feels like a moot point, not a moo point.
This is all a moo point. It's like a cow's opinion. Doesn't matter. It's moo.
Like a cow. It goes
No,
moo. I saw that bit from Friends the other day and it was in my head. Don't worry
I'm gonna
about
have to
it.
find that now. It's fine. So Boy Cavalier managed to get $20 billion, or
Yeah, and he's holding on to the specimens for the next 6 weeks, which, as we all know, isn't going to go well for him.
no, it's not going to go well for him in the next 3 days.
Nope.
But I did enjoy that because it finally showed us that he is a man with a plan. Like, and he's actually smart rather than just telling people that he's really smart. He
Yeah.
finally showed their workings.
I also think it's some of my favorite performance from the guy who plays him.
Mhm.
It just like he looked like he was having a fucking blast and just like really attacking all of his lines in a way that was really fun to watch. Like playing with his food almost. It was just like I
Yeah.
was just enjoying the whole thing in so much. And that little bit as they walk out of the room when Yutani starts talking to Moro and you just hear him go,
Yeah, his little celebration.
I know everybody like I know there are people out there that are like this guy is the most hated character since Joffrey, but I'm like I really enjoy him.
I mean, he's
I
gonna
actually
cause
kind of can't hate him because he's so entertaining.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. He is an asshole and he's going to cause everyone to
And
die.
I'm going to enjoy watching his death so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
But at the moment, the guy, like, because he's being played with such like boyish wonder,
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying the sort of playful aspect of his character and the way that that intersects with him being like really, really, really smart and how that sort of it's the sort of character that I, fuck with real, real hard.
From the arbitration meeting, then let's
hmm
talk about Kirsch, because Kirsch was there and he had
hmm
a meeting with Morrow, his second meeting with Morrow.
hmm I really like that conversation in the elevator. They're just it's just barbs both ways. It was great.
Like last year's model.
Old toy, great line. Finding Kirsch more and more interesting. I mean, he's been interesting the whole time, but like just with every episode, I'm like, you intrigue me. What's your deal?
Even in like other ways, this like even when he's not there, his
Mm,
presence is sort of felt. I'm talking about and we'll get onto Nibs in a bit, but
mm.
Wendy's conversation with Dame Sylvia,
Yeah,
when she basically blurts out that Kirsch has been not brainwashing them, but like introducing ideas that they're not human and shouldn't want to be human.
yeah,
I think that's really, really juicy.
yeah. No, it's good stuff. It also adds in a lot to because I it was this episode that I really came to like the not like I guess conclusion is probably the best word, but it was like it really solidified in my brain. I'm like, I don't think Kirsch is working for anybody. I think he's working solely for himself. I think he's got his own ideas. I think he wants things off his own back. I don't think he's doing anything for anybody else. I think he's doing stuff on his own. I think he has like ideas about synth what's the word I'm looking for? Like synth rights. That's not really what I'm going for.
Are we
But
talking like Detroit becoming
no,
human?
I don't even. But like, no, because Detroit Become Human, they're like, we're people too. No, I think Kirsch is like, I don't care about these people. I think we need to, go off on our own and be our own thing, and we can do our own, like, because I think there's a lot of stuff in this episode about consent and
Yeah,
body autonomy. Like, it's been a theme for the season, right? Just generally speaking, but I think it comes up a lot in this episode as like
it does.
a hard like capital T theme in that like there's a lot of stuff about like what it means to be in charge of your own body and like your own mind and your own and like concepts of free will and stuff like that. And I think he's like the synthetic version of that in that he's like really pushing for like we deserve to be able to do our own, but like not in a like we deserve. I think he just is like fuck these people. I
Uh,
know I'm smarter than all of them, and I know
yeah,
that all of them. And I do also think that he kind of thinks as like as much as he's like, well, I'm not a dad, that kind of a thing.
yeah,
Those are his kids. Like
yeah.
I think he's very much adopted them, and I think
Well,
he kind of is like, these are my people, and I'm going to look after them, essentially.
look after them is maybe a weird way of putting it. Maybe like
Maybe
let them like do their own mistakes, but
sure.
and then weed themselves
I think
out.
he thinks of them as being under his umbrella. Let's put it
Yes.
maybe that way. Like, yeah, look after them makes it sound more paternal, and he still doesn't actually have feelings. And I have to keep reminding myself of that fact.
Hmm.
But I do think that he kind of there's a maybe twisted element of care involved.
Yeah, I think he wants to see them succeed, but
Yeah,
he's not gonna intervene if he sees them failing.
right. I think that's a good way of putting it too. But I do think that there is an element of him giving a shit about what happens to them. Specifically, I thought there was just something interesting in the performance he gave near the end, and I'm going to skip a little bit I think, but just because we're still talking about Kirsch when they're back on the ship and he's watching all the stuff happening in the lab.
Hmm.
Um, and the boy Cavalier asks him like he'd say everything good or something along those lines, and there's just something in the way that Timothy Oliphant delivers that like no, there's no issue.
Affirmative.
Affirmative.
Yeah, that makes it sound like he's a little bit upset about the
Yeah,
fact that Isaac is dead, which poor Isaac.
poor Isaac.
That got spoiled for me before I watched the episode because
Oh
I follow I
no.
follow Kit Young on Instagram and he posted
Oh,
about it. And I was
because
like,
that was
oh
like
man.
a really that one had And I guess we're pretty much done with Kershaw. Let's
Yeah,
go on
but like
to
I just thought
Isaac.
that was an interesting moment and a bit of performance from Jonathan Oliphant where
Yeah.
it sounded like he was a little bit broken up about it.
Yeah, it
That's
did
all I
seem
would say.
like it felt a little bit more breathy than
Yeah,
you'd expect from a synth saying a word.
yeah.
Um,
It sounded like somebody who was trying, but like obviously he's not going to cry because he
yeah,
doesn't have emotions. But it did sound a little bit like somebody trying not
yeah,
to
be upset.
like be upset about something. That was what I thought anyway.
Yeah.
Other people may disagree.
It's interesting. I'm gonna we'll go on to tools, but I
Yeah.
just want to say, just while you said he's not gonna cry, the hybrids can cry. Why, as a machinist, would you let a hybrid cry?
The idea that we were introduced to initially was that they wanted them to be at least partly like human because
Hmm.
they wanted to be able to see that the consciousness of a person could go into a robot body, and part of that was the injection of hormones so that they could have feelings. So I feel like it would be almost torturous to like have the hormones that kind of go into wanting to cry and not being able to, because
Oh.
part of the process of needing to cry is then the relief that comes afterwards. Like there's that's part of the hormonal process of like a piece of sadness. That's why you feel better after crying. It's like it is a active release of
Mm,
emotion in the body. So if you have given the people the ability to feel that kind of sadness, but not the ability to then expunge it from their systems, then I feel like you'd go mad. Like surely, you know, especially if you feel it enough and often enough. I think it's just another example of them giving them a way to like seem human.
yeah.
Also, it's a great bit of model because they're selling this as a product, you have to remember.
Oh
So
yeah,
people might want the ability to be able to cry. They might make it so that like you don't have to have it
yeah. Hmm.
because you can
It's an optional
probably like
add-on, you know.
yeah, maybe not even an add-on, but like you could take it off if you want, sort of a
No,
thing.
okay.
And like it's like and here's a thing that you can do, or we can take it away. Like you don't need
Oh.
to feel, you don't even have to have the hormone part. Like you don't have to have a feeling ever again. Maybe that's the kind of like I'm thinking of that bit in Doctor Who, the Planet of the Ood episode where they're like showing off all of the different versions of the Ood.
Yeah.
That's how I'm imagining this like whole thing because they bring it up very specifically in this episode that they have 3 weeks
Hmm.
until they're meant to be like basically walking around and being like, "Hello, I am a product," and like selling the idea of it to people at some kind of big
Hmm.
party. It's a necessary part of being able to sell a product because they want people to want to buy in. It's not that they're going, you can turn into a robot and you can just like, you know, all this other stuff. It's we're selling immortality,
Yeah.
but with all the human elements still intact.
Yeah, I just think like the Prodigy is well into microtransactions, and you just want to
Oh yeah,
say,
you know, no, you're right. You're probably right. They can add it as like an extra little
yeah,
that
base
will absolutely
model, no cry,
yeah.
and no, you can't choose your face, but you just get a base model. Then oh, for an added extra, you can have the ability to cry. For an added extra, you can have the ability to sleep. I don't know. Like...
Just what a horrifying concept.
All right, Toodles. Toodles gone bye-bye.
His name is Isaac. He chose his name, and we should honor that.
I know. I know. Just Toodles gone bye-bye. Isaac.
Poor
Poor
thing.
Isaac, but also he did it to himself.
He did. He did.
Kirsch says it's a scientific method. Protocols are there for a reason.
Hmm.
Do not go against the protocols. What did
Hmm.
Isaac do?
He went against the protocols.
He went against the protocols. He broke the feeding hatch
Hmm.
thing and was like, oh. And he also didn't take Curly with him, even though because he was trying to be an adult. He's
Yes,
like,
he
I
was
can
like,
handle this. I
he,
am an adult.
he was it was I'm an adult, and also um Kirsch wants me to be his favorite, so I'm going to take on all the responsibility and make sure that he thinks that I'm the best boy.
Yeah. And he was the best boy.
He was the best boy. Sweet thing. I'm so sad. Like, I know he did it to himself and it was like stupid, but we have to also remember, like, still a kid. I could see what he was going for. He wasn't to know that the eyeball the octo-eye in the sheep was going to bump its head against the glass and accidentally trap him inside.
Yes. So okay, go for it. Go for it. Go do the thing.
I was right.
Vindication!
Because I only looked into this yesterday, day before yesterday. Can't remember when we did this, but I went through our comments last week. Thank you for leaving comments, by the way. It's nice that when people leave us comments, I like reading them. Thank you. And somebody said that Noah Hawley said specifically that the Octo-Eye was in fact trying to distract what's her face, whose name I can't remember.
It doesn't matter. The research biologist woman
Yeah.
who died.
Which I said last week, and everybody was like, no.
My
No,
bad.
it was trying to help her. And I saw it so much online, I gaslit myself into thinking I was wrong. Nope, I read it right the whole time.
You did.
I did. I read it right the whole time. Everybody should trust me always.
Yes, that's exactly how it works.
That's how
The Octo-Eye, so Tootles went through the front door
Mhm,
of the thing to the fly cage, which
mhm.
I really want to talk about the fly in a sec, and tried to prop it open with his foot. The Octo-Eye bashed
Bonk.
bonked his own head against the glass. Tootles fell over out of surprise and locked himself in with the fly. The fly, we've basically not seen anything of this
Mm-mm.
fly for the whole time. We've seen it in a cage a couple of times, like fluttering its wings, but
It's
at no point.
gross.
It, oh my God, it's so gross. The food that Tootles was bringing in was like
Rocks?
mechanical parts and rocks.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that does explain why it immediately ate him.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because I was wondering, like, this is interesting because none of the other ones have really been that interested in the sense specifically. But yeah, that makes sense. If it's like feeds on inorganic matter.
And the fly lands on Tootles and he's like, "Oh, good girl, please don't help us," and then
Blech.
sprays acid all over him, starts melting, janks down a bit, and then the flies land on him and suck his synth blood away. It's pretty gross.
Just feeding on some milk.
So that is the end of Tootles. That is the first lost boy.
R.I.P. Isaac.
The first lost boy is gone.
There will
Um,
be many more.
I would imagine so. My God, if Smee survives this, I will be annoyed.
What's your beef with Smee? He's just a little guy.
But he's not a lost boy. The next avenue of disaster waiting to happen, I feel, is Nibs. Very interesting. Nibs causes a lot of things to happen, like consequentially here, but
Hmm.
the first conversation with Atom and the Sylvias, where she's charging, can't hear them, and Atom
Hmm.
tells the Sylvias to delete her memories and
Hmm.
then dial down the emotionals. That doesn't seem right.
Funnily enough, no. But this very much, again, this is the thing I was talking about earlier, like how this episode very heavily leans into this whole thing about like free will and body autonomy and all this sort of stuff because these kids don't have any. Really? They keep being given the suggestion that they do, like, oh yeah, yeah, these are your new bodies, and then Atom turns around and be like, these are our products and we own them. And he really keeps making an effort to be like, don't forget that we are the ones in charge here, and you are a product, and we can do whatever you like. We like with you. A lot of interesting discussions about the nature of consent also in this episode because like Wendy brings it up later where she's like, you didn't ask if you could do that. And they also very specifically didn't tell her that they did that, which feels dumb to me.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna do that, I feel like you should wake her up and be like, listen, you had a really tough couple of weeks and it was affecting you in like a very negative way, where you were becoming dangerous to the people around you. So what we've done is X, Y, and Z. If you really want to be evil about it, you could say she said that you could do it. Like
Yeah.
you could just lie about
You
that
say
part.
you can say you say we took it away from you, but you said that you didn't want to live with that
Mm.
anymore, and it was because it was too hard. And then you've got to tell everybody else
Everybody else,
to
the
say,
way it was
Don't
like,
fucking bring it up. Don't bring it up."
Immediately, she's sitting in front of her and goes, "Wait, but don't you have any of this lot of information?" Like from the moment I
As
can't.
soon as she wakes up, wait, you said that you were pregnant. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. How about the tower? I wasn't at a tower. Yes, you were. It's like someone just get everybody on the same page, man.
Gosh,
Not that I'm on the side of the evil corporation
no,
trying to
but
lie
like
to
you're
this
kind of
girl,
like,
but
come on, guys.
yeah,
Like at least be smart about this. But I think it also does a lot to set up that Sylvia, Dame Sylvia, and I wrote it down. I was like, it's very interesting watching her like actively sell her soul every moment she does something that goes against her instinct. Because I think her instinct was to be like, well, no, we shouldn't do that because we want to protect these kids. But she's got some kind of ruthless streak
yeah.
in her that makes her want to like be that kind of scientist. She wants to like, and I think that was set up a couple of episodes where she was like, no, but the boy Cavalier's got a lot of stuff going for him. Like, this is the reason why she's here.
Yeah.
There is like progress to be had, and she keeps pushing and like letting go little bits of her soul go every time that she's like, no, we'll just. It's fine because like it's for progress. Even though I think she's the most obvious one that you can kind of tell that like this isn't what she wants to be doing, but she feels like it's like, but it's okay in this instance. Like I can kind of like suggest that it's fine to myself. I can kind of, and then it keeps coming back and biting her immediately. Just like trying to talk to Nibs and then sort of like immediately being shown like how terrifying she can be and be. I think there's an element, I think she's just a bit scared of them. I think she's a bit scared of the thing that she helped make, probably.
She has faith in her cult leader, which
Yeah,
is with
that's a good way of putting it.
and that's I think that's where she knows that it's sort of wrong, but she thinks that in the end it'll work out because the boy wonder said it'll work out,
Right. That's a good way of putting it, yeah.
even though his cost her marriage. Poor Arthur. He's the nice guy. We said
Yeah,
that it was going to happen to the nice
yeah.
guy, but the nice guy said, "No, I'm not fucking with a kid's mind." And
Mm.
then his wife goes, "I will." And Arthur goes, "What the fuck? This is a partnership? Why are you doing this to me?"
And in an instant, a marriage dissolved.
Yeah.
Well, she's a widow now, so I guess.
Not yet, but soon.
Oh, yeah, I suppose he's not quite dead, but he will be.
Well, I mean, he's good as, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's on palliative care, I would guess.
Yeah, my three things about Arthur were, yes, Arthur, leave, get out of here. At least this way you'll survive. And then I love Arthur. He's not making it off this island alive. And then no, Arthur, you were too good for this world.
Poor Arthur, man. Like,
The only
um,
person with a brain and also a sense of morals.
it's like get as far away from this place as possible. This place is evil.
Mm.
Just let's get out of here. Let's
And
get out of here.
I think that this is the moment where, in comparison to the last episode, I can see why he didn't leave immediately, even though that was the smart decision, because I think he's set up well enough to be a really good person.
Yes.
Like as somebody who actually cares about like the stuff that he was doing and thought that probably on some level thought that this was something that could genuinely help people. Like
Hmm.
he really cares about those kids. So the moment it's like
Can't contact Tootles.
can't be
Tootles, it might be
oh
in trouble.
he might be in trouble. I've got to go help him. And like desperately try, although he spent for so long in that doorway. I was like, dude, just pull him out. Just fucking pull him out. What are you
He's a
doing?
robot. He's made of metal. There's no way that he could do it on his own. He needed slightly to help him.
I don't know. Maybe I just didn't conceptualize that the idea that these things would actually be heavy because like I don't know. I mean, sure, they're probably. I didn't think they'd be heavier than a body,
Mm,
which is all I'm thinking. And you can, like, it's not easy, but you can drag a person.
yeah.
Um, and easier than
From
he was
experience, like
doing it.
Katie.
No,
Like,
no, just from like the understanding of like how
mhm.
things, especially in a setting where you're probably full of adrenaline, you should be able to do a bit more than what he was doing.
Yeah.
It just seemed like he was sort of being like, oh, no, no, no.
Oh,
And
poor
I'm like, just
Arthur.
you gotta like there's stuff in there. Get him out. Like you can't leave the door open.
I just thought my heart broke for him when
Yeah.
he got to the door with slightly and slightly's like, they have my family. And he's like, I have a family too. I have a family too. Slightly, come on. And then facehugger. Meh.
Basically. That was surprisingly satisfying. Like, just like I feel like that's the first time we've seen it happen properly, right? Because everybody else we've seen with a facehugger had already had the facehugger by the time we saw them. So I think that's the first time we've seen the facehugger like actually
In this
like
show.
yeah,
Yeah.
specifically. We saw it in the footage because when Maura was watching the CCTV footage, but this is the first time we've seen it up close in this
Yeah.
show specifically. So I was like, do you know what? There's something about that that's actually quite satisfying to see. And I appreciate the fact that we actually got that moment because it's horrible every time.
It's just suffocating. Oh, it was horrible.
It's
Bye,
it's all
Arthur. Sorry.
by Arthur, and he got and slightly did his job.
Yeah.
He
Just
did his job.
about. He tried to get Joe. Couldn't get Joe in the end.
Joe continues to have the most plot armor so much. Just things keep like moving out of his way. I'm no longer worried about him dying too soon. We've moved past that
Well,
point.
there's no too soon now. There's two
There's
episodes
no too
left.
soon.
There's not a chance.
I
Uh,
I have this feeling I have a feeling he's actually gonna make it off the island with Wendy.
well, he has the boat code
Yep.
now, and
Which again,
the
great scene. Loved that whole thing.
Arthur was did one nice thing for Joe before he left, which is uh, gave him the boat code and turned off the tracker and audio visual for all of the hybrids,
Which
which again
also is
is
gonna set up some stuff.
yeah. I have no idea what's gonna go on there because like now they can't track Nibs, they can't
It's
track Curly, they can't
like
track
the
Smee.
first instance of like it also very unintentionally helps slightly out a lot, of which that just occurred to me. I'm like, oh, interesting. But it's also like the first time the kids, technically speaking, have their actual own sense of privacy.
Hmm.
Nobody can see in their heads at this point. Like nobody can see what they're doing. Nobody can see where they are. Like are truly on their own, which is just a great bit of setup immediately.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very, very into it. No, I really like that whole scene. Actually, there's a lot of stuff around Joe and some of the stuff he says in this episode that I really, really liked. So, do you want to move on to Joe, or was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No, that Joe I do want to talk about, but I also want to touch on Joe's he was also trying to do some consenty stuff with
Mm.
Wendy. He thought he was
This is
going to,
this
yeah.
is where a lot of that stuff came in. So that whole thing about like yeah, the conversation between Joe and Marcy, this like childish optimism versus like adult realism, where and the whole bit about like no gives you power. I was like, I love that. My favorite line from the entire episode happened within like the first 5 minutes, and it was Joe asking Kirsch where he's like, is she safe? And he's like, well, I mean, she's basically indestructible. And he's like, no, safe isn't just about bodies. And I was like, oh, I'm keeping that forever. I love that so much. Like everything, safe isn't always about bodies. Is like that is just a marvelous piece of writing. Tells you so much. I agree with it.
100%.
I've never heard it expressed like that, and I was like, that's why I started making notes so early on in the episode because usually I leave until the end and just like write down a bunch of things, but I was like, no,
Yeah.
I need to write that down immediately because that is such a good line, and I haven't stopped thinking about it.
Yeah. No, it's good. The other line I liked in the hallway scene for
Mm,
where Joe's talking to Wendy is getting a picture of how brainwashed the kids have been by the boy Cavalier,
mm,
and she says, "No is the first step to nothing.
mm.
We are a yes people," or something.
This is a yes place.
Yeah, yeah. And I thought, wow, that's
It's so like,
that's
well, yeah, let's
creepy.
just like really push that. Like all of these kids should just say yes to everything. It's like, ugh. And then which then leads into Joe being like, no, 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 in a situation where somebody's trying to take advantage of you, no gives you power. And I was like, this whole episode is full of some fucking amazing stuff.
This is such good shit.
Just some great language around the concept of consent, and I really like the fact that that kind of lays a seed in her brain so that later on when she has that conversation with Nibs and she realizes that they can just take their memories away whenever the hell they feel like it, she's like, I was told this was the yes place, but like maybe that's not like great.
Yeah,
Maybe we shouldn't be doing that. That whole thing of like, if this is what people are like, I don't want to be people, which,
that's a
ooh,
that's a
ooh,
statement, isn't it?
ooh. And
Yes.
it's not an unfamiliar statement in sci-fi or with like, robots,
Hmm.
general, all this stuff. But I think they did a very good job of paying that off in a way that felt satisfying to me.
Yeah.
But yes, Joe has so much plot armor. I
Yes.
really just can't get over it.
And he also is not being like subtle about what he's trying to
No.
do.
And his friends cottoned on like fucking immediately. He's there like, oh yeah, that's the fucking boat, And anybody got any codes?
Yeah, anybody got codes? Anyone have any experience driving boats? You know,
So Mary's like, shut the fuck up.
is there any other ways off this island? Do you think that we could drive a boat to somewhere else? Is this island far enough away that a boat doesn't have the range that where I need to? Do you think basically can I nab off my sister and just like fuck off?
I did like the response to that where she was like, this is a good gig. Um, and then he's like, there are monsters here. And she went, yeah, but if I'm here, I know where they are. And I was like, ooh, that's some good stuff. I like that a lot. And she's right
Well,
in a way.
soon they
But
may not know where they are. I mean,
yeah, so
on
they're
the
not gonna
island,
know where they are. Yeah.
but don't know. Facehugger Arthur
Mm.
is in a vent.
He's in a
It,
vent. He got
this is a
vented.
fucking secure lab. Why is there a man-sized vent in the lab? Why is there a man-sized vent in a lab?
That's a really good point.
It's supposed to be secure. How is it
Yeah.
secure if you can get in through a vent that large?
I don't know.
Just
They're
saying.
really good. That's a good point. You make a very excellent point for sure.
As soon as the chest burster comes out, it's out. It's everywhere.
Yes,
Who
yes, the
knows?
tiger is out. I still slightly get into the vents. Um, he is
Yeah.
the imposter.
Yeah. He is.
Oh no, it's just an extended Among Us metaphor.
It is. Yeah. Who is the imposter here? It's slightly he's going. I saw him vent with
I saw
Joe.
him vent.
I saw him kill Joe, and then he went into the vent. But
No, he
where's
killed
Joe's body?
Arthur.
No, Arthur. Yeah, sorry.
Joe can't be killed.
No, he's got.
He's impervious.
He's impervious. Yeah, someone's got a guardian angel shield on. Anyway, no, enough with the Among Us references.
Among Us.
Last couple of things. The Xenomorph. Wendy is still talking to it. We know that this is an annoyance for Lily, to say the least.
I was gonna say, I don't know if it's the talking so much as the way she's doing the talking that annoys Lily. She
Oh,
just doesn't like the mouth movement. I think it makes sense because that's sort of the way that I think in the way that she's processing it, she's like, well, I have to make my mouth make
yeah.
the shape of the thing that I'm trying to do. So that's why it's doing it that way. But
And,
she really hates it.
in reality, because her mouth is a speaker, to actually speak, she wouldn't need to any words. She
Yeah,
wouldn't need to move her mouth. She would just have to open her mouth and just say the things, but without any movement,
yeah,
and that would look weird.
yeah,
And maybe that's part of the design of that Prodigy of and that I've done so that people don't look weird.
yeah. I think it makes sense. But
Mhm.
yeah, Lily despises it. And that is her prerogative. She's allowed to do that.
So we started
See,
with
she's
a little baby xenomorph, a little
mm,
toddler xenomorph, and he grew up into a
sort
teen.
of. Yeah, teen is a good way of putting it. Not quite adult yet, but
Hmm.
it's getting there. It's getting there.
Yeah,
And it's waiting. It really wants to get out.
I want to see another standoff between the Octoi and an alien.
Mm. Do you think
Um,
it will win this time?
no, but there is going to be two, which begs a question. Wendy says this xenomorph could be a good one.
I don't
I
think
hope
she's
not.
I don't think she's right. I think that's an element of I think maybe if Max it'll try and protect her because
Mhm.
you know they have a connection at this point. I don't think it's going to be like her That being said, I can kind of see an instance where she's standing there and it's like right next to her and she's like, sick 'em boys. Not like specifically like that, but you understand the vibe.
Yeah.
I could see an avenue where that could occur. I kind of don't want it to, but I could
Hmm.
see the avenue for it. I do think it's going to save her life at some point. I think that's probably just the way it's going to go. But I don't think good is the right word. I
Yeah.
think that's just
Projection.
that's yeah, that's that childish optimism. I think that's her wanting to see the good in things, and all that sort of stuff because she's connected to the circumstances of them
Hmm.
like a lot in the whole thing. But she keeps being like, they didn't ask to be here. Like
Yeah.
she's got a lot of compassion for them, which was clearly set up with the scorpion at the very very start. And she's like, well, yeah, they didn't ask to be here. It's not their fault. They're just being what they are. And I thought, again, back to that conversation she had with Joe, where he's like, but they kill.
Hmm.
They are there to kill. They don't have like thoughts and feelings like we do. And I think that's the beginning of her like putting together like, but like there's more in common with us
Hmm.
than I think there isn't. And it's a very human perspective to be like, that thing wants to eat me and therefore I need to kill it. And
Yeah.
I think she's very much like almost in an evolved state of like, no, all things deserve like the autonomy that we want to be able to prescribe to ourselves. And like the whole thing about like not wanting to cut them up just for the sake of a science experiment and all this sort of stuff. I was like, yeah,
It
interesting.
was a very much a mirror of that first scene in the whole show where she's talking to Kirsch because again she becomes Kirsch in that
Mm,
instance. Joe's like, We've got community," and she's
mm,
like, "Ants have community,
mm,
bees have community.
mm,
Who's to say these don't have community if
mm.
like so?"
She's not wrong either.
She's not. She's very
She's
logical about it
she's
and not
very logical
emotional.
about it. Yeah, and I think she keeps being like pretty consistently underestimated
Yeah.
on that front. I think that she's maybe not as like logically smart as everybody. I mean, not like she hasn't got like the most amount of knowledge, but it seems like she has got a lot of good reasoning skills,
Mhm.
which by all accounts, I think make her a little bit smarter than some of the other people that are there. Where it's like, yeah, Isaac can go and download several like 100 files on zoology and all that sort of stuff. But if he doesn't have the ability to put together like compassionate reasoning,
Mhm.
what how far can you get?
Yeah.
Not that far, as it turns out.
No. Sorry, Isaac.
Woo! You know you did.
One last thing on Wendy
Mm.
before we do Mold Watch, and
Mold
then
watch.
and then we wrap up. What hasn't come back since the first or second episode is Wendy's ability to interface with technology.
Oh, true.
I hope they just haven't forgotten about that and becomes useful in the last couple of episodes.
I imagine so. It doesn't seem like something that would be easily forgotten about. Because they did such a pointed effort to like bring it up. I think it's just not been relevant for a few episodes. I think it'll probably, I imagine, if anything, it'll be the thing that helps them get off the island. It's going to be the thing that like helps her open doors and like move around the facility once it and probably goes into lockdown when they finally realize that the things have escaped.
All right, Mold Watch.
Mold Watch, again, not they haven't focused on it, but it was in so many more of the shots this week,
It was.
like just hanging out. And I'm wondering if it's mold or if it's some kind of moss because it's a little green.
Mm.
And I'm wondering if it's this like I don't know if it's actually going to become anything or if it's just like a visual metaphor for the island trying to like eat the thing that's on top of it because it's not really meant to be there. That's the I'm this is where I'm at the moment. I just hope it does become something
Yeah,
because I've made it into such a
I know. You have made it into, but now I can't stop looking for it either. And we
it's
also have
everywhere though.
we haven't seen the guy spraying it. Maybe the mold got to him, you know?
Maybe it ate him.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's got to be some reason for it because
Mm,
the corridor outside of the secure lab, they
mm,
show it three times clearly, and
mhm,
in the last shot, there's fucking mold on the wall,
mm.
and there wasn't in the first two.
I didn't notice it that much. Like I
I,
wasn't
I
like,
rewatched because I forgot to look at it in mold watch eyes for the
yeah,
first time, you know?
you got to look for,
Yeah.
yeah. No, because I mean, it was in the back of the shot when Marcy was talking to Joe. I saw it like, and it just like, just a little bit right there. And I was like, it's fucking there. It was still in the same place it was before from the previous like episode where we were in Neverland. So episode 4 in that like wide shot from the lab, like
Yes.
the
The
sort of
Sylvia's lab.
Sylvia's lab perspective. Um, and then so you're saying there was a point where it turned up halfway through the episode at a point that we'd seen it that
I
we hadn't
believe
seen it.
so. I think there's three wide shots of the
Curious.
corridor outside of the secure lab.
Hmm.
And on the third shot, it's on the wall on the left. It's only a little bit, but it's on the wall on the left.
Hmm. I'm just so intrigued by it, and it's gonna disappoint me so much if it's just like it's just there as like background decoration.
And it's just inconsistency, you know, in background
I don't even think
decoration.
it's gonna be inconsistency. I think if it's gonna be, I have a feeling that it's just visual metaphor and it's not gonna have like an actual in-universe explanation. But I
Fair enough.
want there to be. I can't stop looking at it. Oh, the only other thing I think was because you brought up Smee earlier. I liked the little scene with him and Slightly, where Slightly's just having such a bad time and he can't talk about it. And his friend is there just like, I just want to play. And he's like, all right, listen, I got like a couple of things I need to do. But afterwards, then we can play as much as you want. He's like, okay. And he comes over and he gives him that side hug and he calls it a grown-up hug. I was like, this is and I just it was just desperately sweet. And also I think Smee might have a little crush. That was all I was thinking.
It could be like it very much could be.
It might
He
just be a
look,
friend thing as well, but for me, I want it to be like a little tiny crush.
I mean, he loves him. Come what may, he loves him. In what
Yeah.
way? He's a what
It like
11,
kid
12
crush
in
in
yeah,
in that way that like I think kids can have crushes in like a myriad of ways where it's like
yeah,
even if you it's like just a friend that you like really like, it's kind of like a crush because
yeah,
it's so intense and like, oh, I really like this person, and you don't really have the context to like what that means for you as
yeah.
a person yet, or like what how that will like what that'll actually mean. So it's like the most pure form of what it means to have like a crush. I don't know. I just think he's so sweet,
He
and they're
is.
so sweet, and he's
He's the most childlike one. Like even when he's playing with Curly and at the river and he just like splashes her and he's like, ah, I got you.
he's just a kid. I know
Yeah,
they're all kids, but like he's just a kid. I don't want him to die.
he is going to die. Everyone's
I
going to die
know, but
pretty
like
much.
that's so upsetting. That's so upsetting.
Okay, I think that's the end of the spoilers talk.
Yeah. Just in case we weren't clear about it before, that eyeball is evil. It's
Yes.
evil. It's straight up evil. It wants only things for itself, and it's very good at manipulating situations to benefit it in the long run. It's like playing 4D chess.
Yes. Very smart.
I only
That
brought it up
end,
because of my note on it is that eyeball is not benevolent.
yeah, that end shot shows it. Like where the sheep's right up against the glass, staring at the camera, and the it mists up the glass as well. Like
That the Octo Eye knows it's in an alien movie.
it does, and it's the one that's gonna win.
Yeah, gotta let it get out. I just would like to know what it actually wants.
Mm,
Like, what is it? Like, what's the end goal? What is the ultimate version of the Octo Eye? Like, where is it pushing itself to? Where's it going? What's it doing?
mm,
What's the vibe?
What do I do? Tell me how!
Because like we know it's very good at manipulating situations, but like to what end? Other than survival? Because I
freedom.
think like like I don't know. I'm just curious if there is anything beyond freedom for it. Like,
Mm.
is there something it wants above all else? I don't know.
So let's go on to our episode rankings.
Hmm.
Episode rankings time.
I wrote 8, but I think I've talked myself into an 8.5.
I get it.
It's a good episode. There's a lot of really interesting stuff in here, and I am going to continue to think about Safe is Not Always About Bodies for maybe the rest of my life. I think I might have just stolen that, and I'm like, I'm going to keep this forever. Sometimes that happens, and I'm always happy when it does.
No, yeah, I'm right there with you. It had it's got back on track after
Yeah.
last week for me. I know it was some people really like that excursion back, but
And fair enough.
and absolutely fair enough. It was more like the original Alien film, but this one is just it was an excursion from a really good show that
Yeah.
I've been really enjoying,
Yeah.
and I didn't really appreciate the like hard left turn.
Mhm.
We did get some more context from that, and it's more apparent in this episode why we got some of the stuff in that
Yep.
episode. Um, but I really like this show. I really like the characters.
Yep.
I like the ramp up.
Yep.
I like that we getting some deaths now.
Yep. That
Oh,
there will be many more next
and there
week.
will be many more next week. We have got 2 episodes left, and this feels like all right, this is the point. Everything's about to go to shit properly. We've been setting up it all going to shit, and now it's going to shit. I'm gonna go with an 8.5.
Think we're
Yeah,
all on the same page. Well, we are on the same page.
we're on the same page. And I
We
think,
don't actually know what Lily was going to
yeah,
give to the episode. We should ask, and then you could put it in afterwards.
yeah, absolutely. I think it'll be better than a 4 that she gave
Yes.
last week, though.
Because if she puts it at a 6, that's basically where we're at.
Yeah.
I like this base 8 thing. It's very funny to me.
Okay, I think that's it for another week on the Watching Now podcast, Alien Earth. That was episode 6. We'll be back next week for the penultimate episode of Alien Earth. That's
Mhm.
episode 7. That comes after 6.
Yes.
If you liked this, then like, subscribe, leave us some comments. We like the comments.
I would love to hear anybody else's thoughts on the mold. That truly, if you want something specific to comment about, I would love to hear anybody else's thoughts specifically on the mold and whether or not you think it's going to turn into anything, because I can't stop thinking about it.
Are we focusing too much on the mold? Maybe. But I hope that we're not. And we've just been ahead of the curve for the
Yeah.
whole series.
I'm like, look, I got vindicated by the fact that the eyeball has been evil the whole time. So clearly I have the best view on everything, and Amori is right.
Yes. Thanks very much for watching. If you like this, we also have another Watching Now podcast going on at the moment. The crew over there is just finishing up their Star Trek Strange New Worlds run. I don't watch the show, but it doesn't feel like it's been a very good series, sort of, according to the podcasts.
Mm.
So if you don't agree with that, go over there and watch them, and then comment on their videos as well. But until then, we will see you next week. And bye bye.
Bye. For legal reasons, also, it was a joke. It's not. I don't think I'm right about everything all the time. Just a lot of the time.
That's wrong. It's not a joke. She really thinks that she's right about everything all the time, and
All
that's
the time,
all the time.
always.
Everything.
I just there's somebody's going to come along and be like, I can't believe you'd be so arrogant. And I'm like, fuck, I'm being super. That's not the right word. I'm over the top, or the over hyperbolic. There you go. That's a good one.
See,
Being
she's not
hyperbolic.
right all the time. She got the wrong word a couple of times there.
Yeah, that's because my brain has holes in.
Oh, not as many as Isaac's.
Ow.